third grade. Okay, so today we are going to take an even closer look at possessive nouns. Okay, and I think we all realize that possessive nouns must have an apostrophe. And in my class, we like to sing that word, apostrophe, right? But what does a possessive noun do? Okay, so that's what I want us to know. But a possessive noun shows ownership. Oopsie. It shows ownership, okay? So, oh my man, can't type. So that is going to be a really important key part of a possessive noun. Possessive means that it shows ownership, you're owning something. And a noun we know is a person, place, or thing. So these are possessive nouns. It's a noun that is owning or possessing something, okay? And when it is a noun owning or possessing something, it must have an apostrophe. That's a little bit different than a possessive pronoun, which would be like his socks or her book, right? So that would be a little bit different of a possessive pronoun, which we'll get to later. But these are possessive nouns. So today's lesson, we're going to take a look at a book that you are all familiar with. You've all read before. We haven't read it together, but you've all read it. And I'm not going to tell you what the book is. You're going to have to try to figure it out as we go along, okay? All right, I'm not even reading you the whole book. Here's one page of the book. Look, shouted one of the children, the elves. Outside we saw hundreds of elves. What are you noticing? Do you see those spelling words, everybody? Look at those spelling words. Let's see, here we'll paint them. Let's paint them red. Elves. Elves. As our train grew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl, so crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no further, we stopped and the conductor led us outside. Do you see a word that is a possessive noun? Do you see a word that has an apostrophe? Yes, right here, Santa's. Now, we've talked before that not every word with an apostrophe is a possessive noun. But a possessive noun must have an apostrophe, okay? And this is a possessive noun. The noun is Santa. He's showing possession, apostrophe S. And what is he owning? What is he possessing? Santa's helpers, right? So helpers would be, let's mark that, helpers would be what he's owning, right? Possessing. Santa's helpers. The helpers that belong to Santa. Okay, you probably already have a good idea what the book is. Okay, let's look at another page. Can you find a possessive noun on this page? Now, your eye can just scan right now for apostrophes. Now, look here. Ready? Santa's. Do you see this possessive noun? Santa's. Santa's what? Santa's giant bag. Good. Okay, now, what is the possessive noun? Santa. Santa is the noun. He's the person. What is he possessing? A bag. So then, what is giant? Giant would be the adjective. It's the word that describes the bag. Okay, so it's Santa's bag, but we know even more about it. Santa's giant bag. What if we said Santa's giant red bag? Okay, that would be even more descriptive, but this word giant is an adjective. The word Santa is a noun. Apostrophe S makes it a possessive noun because he's owning something, and he owns a bag. Bag is a noun. It's a thing, and it's singular, right? Okay, do you see any more? Let's see. Good job. Santa's what? Sleigh. Sleigh. Santa's sleigh. So it's the sleigh that belongs to Santa. Santa is the possessive noun. Sleigh is the noun that Santa possesses. Okay. Do you see any more? Good job. Reindeer's harness. Reindeer's harness. Then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. Okay, ready? Reindeer is the noun. Reindeer is the possessive noun because it's owning something, apostrophe S. Reindeer's harness. Harness is what the reindeer owns. And he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. The harness belongs to the reindeer. This one's tricky. This one we know from the context of the sentence that it's one reindeer. And we also see the a reindeers, right? But deer could be plural too, so that one can get a little bit tricky. But in that sentence, they give us two clues, the context of the sentence and the article a. Good. Okay, let's one more page. Do you see any possessives on this page? Good. Okay, you ready? Reindeers' names. It's the names that belong to the reindeer, right? So reindeers, right here, this is what I was talking about. Is this more than one or is it the singular? So this is what we call a plural possessive noun, which we haven't done before. But because deer isn't one of those words that changes, this one is kind of tricky, isn't it? Okay. But the names belong to the reindeers. Okay, it's a possessive noun. This one is just a plural possessive noun, which we're going to get to later. That one is tricky. Okay, now we're going to kind of flip it. Now we're going to look at a picture, and we're going to try to come up with some possessive, or we're going to try to write some sentences that have possessive nouns in them. Okay, so for example, when I look at this picture, let me scooch this over. Oh, I can't scooch it over. When I look at this picture, I see, let me get rid of that, sorry. When I look at this picture, I see this waiter, right? And the first thing that I notice is the waiter's hat. Okay, so let me write a sentence like that. The waiter's hat, so do you see how I did waiter, apostrophe S? The waiter's hat is white and tall. The waiter's hat is white and tall. This sentence has a possessive noun. This sentence has a possessive noun. The noun is waiter. His name, that's the person, the waiter. And he has a hat. Okay. I could say, the waiter's mustache moves when he speaks. The waiter's mustache moves when he speaks. I have another possessive. I don't know why I keep angling them. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make them bigger, but I keep making them angled. Okay. The waiter's mustache moves when he speaks. Here's my noun, waiter. What belongs to him? His mustache. So the waiter's mustache. Could you have one with the waiter's uniform? Or I see a young girl's braids. I guess they're not braids, ponytails. Do you see over here? Young girl's ponytails. They're ponytails that belong to the girl. The girl's ponytails. Okay. All right, ready? Let's look at a new picture. What could you write about? All right, so lots of things that own different things, right? So we could say the train's lights, or the wolf's paw, or the wolf's mouth, or the wolf's tail, or the tree's trunk. Oh, the tree's branches. Okay, so let's write one. Let's see. The train, apostrophe S, the train's light shone in the dark. Or the wolf, apostrophe S, because it's one wolf. The wolf's paw. The wolf's paw crunched in the snow. Okay, so in both of my sentences, let's see if I can do it with making it topsy-turvy. There we go. In both of my sentences, I use possessive nouns. I took something in here and I gave it ownership of something. So the wolf's paw crunched in the snow. It would probably actually be better to say paws because all four of his paws are, right? That would probably be better. The train's light, the light of the train shone in the dark, like shine, but in the past tense it would be shone in the dark. Okay, ready? Last one we're going to look at together. What can we do? The tree's ornaments. Ooh, the clown's foot. The box's lid. The truck's color. The truck's tires. The ornament's color, right? Okay, so let's see if I can make a sentence now. I have some ideas. Let's see. The clown's, apostrophe S, the clown's foot hung off the armchair. Okay? The clown's foot hung off the armchair. So it's the foot that belongs to the clown. The clown's foot. Clown is a possessive noun. Okay, I bet you have a guess of what story this is. Okay, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to open up the Google form. And in the Google form, you have to first write your name. Then you have to write a sentence that will go with each of these pictures. There's going to be a couple extras, okay? So you're going to see the same exact picture. What sentence would you write? And your sentence must have a possessive noun in it. It must have a noun with an apostrophe S showing ownership. So you're not going to write the waiter's hat is white and tall because that's what I wrote. But you could write a different sentence about the waiter's hat. And you're not going to write the waiter's mustache moves when he speaks, but you could write another sentence about the waiter's mustache, or maybe the waiter's uniform, or maybe the little boy's hair, or maybe the train's seats, or what else you see in there, okay? Something that belongs. And then you're going to see this picture, and you're going to write a sentence that has a possessive noun showing ownership. You could use any of the good ideas we had together, but you're not going to copy my sentences exactly. And then you're going to have this picture, and you're going to have two other pictures. And then your final question is, can you name the story that it all came from? All right, my friends, have fun.